A shoe has been hurled at former Pak President Pervez Musharraf outside Sindh High Court. These are live pictures that we are bringing to you. Remember, Pervez Musharraf is appearing before the Sindh Court in a bid to escape arrest. And news just coming in, a shoe was hurled at former Pak President Pervez Musharraf, who just days ago reached Pakistan after a self-imposed exile of almost 4 years. So there's been a protest too against Musharraf as he reached Sindh Court. This, of course, was in connection with a case as he's trying to escape the arrest bid. The protective bail is getting over. He was granted bail earlier by the Sindh High Court, which actually expires on Friday. But in the latest just coming in, a shoe has been hurled at former Pak President Pervez Musharraf. Remember, he returned to Pak on 24th this month. He ended that nearly 4-year-long self-imposed exile. He's set to file his nomination papers for the upcoming elections in Pakistan. Hamza Amir now joins us with more. Hamza, just take us through what's happened. I believe there was a lot of protest and commotion outside the court premises, and the latest coming in, a shoe was hurled at President Musharraf.
Well, you're right. Pervez Musharraf was actually appearing in the court today to actually request further extension of bail regarding Benazir Bhutto's murder case and also the killing of Akbar Bukti in Balochistan as well. But unfortunately enough for him, and he was, I think, already aware of what's going to happen because the lawyer community is not very inclined with Pervez Musharraf's entry into Pakistan, and that is why there was a strong protest while he was even entering the court. They were trying to put hurdles on his way and pathway that towards the court side, and as soon as he entered into the court, after a while when he was granted the bail, he was on his way coming out when one of the lawyers that I believe tried to hit him with a shoe. And that is the hatred, the amount of hatred that the judiciary has for him. That is why because he has a very ultra high security provided, and that is why he was able to keep himself away from that shoe hit. But yes, he's been taken out safely out of the Sindh High Court. But not to forget, all of this is part of the hatred that Musharraf has in Pakistan, not only from the part of the ruling government, Pakistan People's Party, on the cases against him, and also by the judiciary, which were basically dissolved and absolutely sabotaged during his point of rule in 2003 till in 2009. And that is why it's a very difficult course for Musharraf as soon as he starts to start working towards his political campaigning, because he will have a strong resistance from all parts of dimensions coming towards him. It's going to be a very difficult task for Musharraf.
All right, Hamza, just stay on with us. Let me quickly recap what's happened. These are pictures that we're getting to you now. Well, pictures are from outside Sindh Court, where Pervez Musharraf was appearing this morning. He was making an appearance in the court today as the protective bail that was granted to him by the Sindh High Court is expiring on Friday. A shoe was hurled at former Pak President and dictator Pervez Musharraf.
की जा रही थी वकला की जानिब से, और उनका कहना था कि साबिक सदर जनरल रिटायर्ड परवेज, लेकिन ये मनाजिर कैमरे की आंख ने अक्स बंद कर दिए हैं और हम आपको ये मनाजिर दिखा भी रहे हैं। शदीद नारेबाजी उनके खिलाफ की जा रही थी वकला की जानिब, लेकिन ये मनाजिर कैमरे की आंख ने अक्स बंद कर दिए हैं और हम आपको ये मनाजिर दिखा भी रहे हैं। शदीद नारेबाजी उनके खिलाफ की जा रही थी वकला की जानिब से, और उनका कहना था कि साबिक सदर जनरल रिटायर्ड परवेज, लेकिन ये मनाजिर कैमरे की आंख ने अक्स बंद कर दिए।
All right, so those are pictures that we are getting to you from outside Sindh Court, where Pervez Musharraf reached this morning. He's appearing before the court as his protective bail plea, which was granted to him by the court, is expiring on Friday. He's trying to escape arrest by the police. Remember, he returned only on the 24th of this month to a lukewarm response of sorts. Hamza Amir is still with us on the phone line. And Hamza, interestingly, this isn't the first time that shoe has been hurled at Pervez Musharraf. There was a bid to throw shoe at him in London, if I'm right, in 2011.
That is correct. See, Musharraf came back to Pakistan in hopes that he might have a following of the people, and people might be looking at him as a hope as well. That has not actually happened. He's probably very disappointed as well. Not to forget, not only the cases that are pending in the Sindh High Court, there are 2 fresh petitions that have been filed in by the Amir of Lal Masjid on to charge Musharraf on high treason, and also to put his name on the control list. So this is not a very difficult. It's not a very easy road for Musharraf as soon as he is then inside Pakistan now. He is obviously very disappointed on the part of the party's policies, and as the ticket issuing was concerned, he wanted to communicate, as he said yesterday in an interview. He said he wanted to communicate with the people first and then decide who to give the tickets to. But he could not do that. So the party's policies already have been disrupted anyway. And now when he comes on as the leader of All Pakistan Muslim League, it is going to be very, very difficult. As soon as he comes back into Islamabad as well, he's got 2 cases and petitions filed in pending against him over here as well. So he will be coming to the courts in Islamabad as well, in the Supreme Court of Pakistan. That is a very difficult position for Musharraf. I don't know how he is going to tackle it out. The only way out for him right now is the Pakistan Armed Forces and intelligence agencies who can actually support him. And that is what he hopes. As he says, he cannot even imagine to have an opposition from the Pakistani Armed Forces. And that is the only plus point he will have to carry with him in order to stay safe. Because right now, as we see, when people can start to, target him with shoes, obviously there can be certain other elements as well who will actually, seize their opportunities to come forward and target him more. We have threats from the Baloch. We have threats from Baloch party leader who has said that he will provide a lifetime security to the person who brings the head of Musharraf. He's also wanted by the Taliban. They've got death squad who is after them. And he's also got cases against him in the courts. So there is no way out for Musharraf right now. And if he's actually in the active control list, then he's also not going out of Pakistan. So I don't know how he is going to, in a month or 2 time, and when the elections are around the corner, how he is going to go out into the public and talk to the people. I seriously doubt that there will be any election campaign on the part of Musharraf. In fact, he will be, bundled up with all these cases against him and threats of security everywhere he goes, because now wherever he goes, there will be a huge amount of security provided to him, and obviously people of the other people's life who are actually supporting him at times will be also at risk. So it's a very difficult road for Musharraf, as now he's in Pakistan. I don't think it is going to be very easy for him to get away from all of these elements targeting him.
All right, and you know what's interesting, Hamza, that Pervez Musharraf, even as this hearing is on, he's going on tweeting pictures of the proceedings that are on in the Sindh court, and this incident takes place outside the court premises, where we see shoes being hurled at former Pak President Pervez Musharraf as he came out for this hearing. But interestingly, as you said, Hamza, the incident in a way gives some indication of the popularity that Musharraf enjoys in Pakistan. We had seen a lot of bluster from former Pak General and President Pervez Musharraf, where he talked about, how he's very proud of Kargil operation. He said he had struck no deal with any of the parties in Pakistan, and he's going all set to contest elections. He's set to file nomination papers very soon. Perhaps this gives us an idea of the sort of popularity that he enjoys in Pakistan. And in fact, we're also showing pictures of a man who's currently being thrashed by some of those people, in fact, supporters of Pervez Musharraf. Apparently, this was a person who threw the shoe, hurled the shoe at Pervez Musharraf. All right, so it seems scuffle has broken out in the court premises, in the same court premises where Pervez Musharraf was appearing for his bail plea hearing. Remember, he was granted a protective bail plea which expires on Friday, and Pervez Musharraf is trying to escape arrest, for which he was appearing in the courts today, where a shoe was hurled at him. And now the person who is suspected to have hurled that shoe at Pervez Musharraf is beaten up, or was roughed up by the supporters of Pervez Musharraf. Mohsin Raza, Director ARY News, is with us on the phone line. Mr. Raza, well, this isn't a stray incident. It's happened to General Pervez Musharraf earlier as well. That time it was in London. This time it's in Sindh, where he's appearing for his court hearing. Does this give us any idea of how popular Pervez Musharraf right now is in Pakistan?
Pervez Musharraf is not a popular man in Pakistan, and you can see his popularity today in the Sindh High Court, where he was welcomed by the lawyers who chanted slogan against him, and his guards saved him from the clutches of lawyers who were angry because of his dirty role against the Pakistan judiciary and the lawyers community during his tenure as the president and army chief in Pakistan. And today a man threw his shoe towards Pervez Musharraf. Musharraf was coming out of the court, and it happened Sindh High Court, where he appeared before the Chief Justice of Sindh High Court.
Mr. Raza, also just give us a sense of protests that are brewing in Pakistan as Musharraf gets set to file his nomination papers from Chitral. We believe there are also some civil society activists who are in fact staging protests against Musharraf's arrival in the country, and they're also asking the Election Commission in Pakistan to disallow him from contesting elections.
People are protesting even from the civil society and from fundamentalists, from Taliban, from the Pakistan political parties. No one is welcoming Musharraf, who is trying his hard to enter into any political alliance with the parties who are in the election process, but no one is accepting him openly. It is believed that the Mahajir Qawmi movement, Musharraf Qawmi movement, MQM, will support him his election from Karachi, but they are not announcing as yet their support to Musharraf.
All right, Mr. Raza, so how really are analysts seeing the return of Musharraf? Clearly, he's not, getting a lot of welcome, not receiving a lot of warmth from people in Pakistan, which has just been highlighted by this incident of shoe throwing by somebody outside the court premises in Sindh. But that's not an isolated incident. Like you said, there are also protests that are being held by civil society members and some of the other fundamentalists who are opposed to the return of Musharraf to Pakistan and his taking part in the election process.
Musharraf is not relevant in Pakistani politics. He is no more a relevant person in Pakistani politics. No one is considering him seriously in the forthcoming election as a winner candidate, but he is trying his luck from the four different constituencies, from Karachi and from Chitral and from Islamabad. But I don't think that he can get any support without the backing of popular political parties. And I believe that MQM will support him in Karachi constituency. Then he can win this seat. Otherwise, he will lose with a big margin.
Mr. Mohsin Raza, Director, ARY News, thank you very much for joining us, for your informed opinion and perspective on the developments in Pakistan. The latest that's happened in Pakistan is that a shoe was hurled at former Pak President Pervez Musharraf outside the court premises in Sindh, where he had appeared for a bail plea hearing. Remember, he'd been granted a protective bail till Friday, which is expiring soon, and he's seeking to evade arrest in the case, which is why he was appearing in the courts. Hamza Amir, our correspondent, still with us on the phone line right now. Hamza, I was talking about the return of Musharraf. This certainly is the last chance for Musharraf to stay relevant in the Pakistani politics, considering elections are just around the corner. But the response that he's got so far, everybody was saying it was lukewarm, but now it appears some of it is hostile as well.
Well, yes, I think, I don't think it's the last chance for Musharraf. But yes, it was the high time for him to actually come back and try to, identify who are the people who are actually trustworthy in his party and who can actually take the party forward. Because unfortunately enough, since he even landed in Karachi, and when he came out to speak to the public, you did not see, and we did not see any party members, any senior party members standing alongside him other than the security officials. No one wanted to actually come out because they were scared. And this is how fearful, everyone who's even part of Musharraf's party is. So right now, the only safe side and safe passage is the elections. No other party, like Pakistan People's Party, who would say that Benazir Bhutto was murdered by Musharraf, and also PMLN and Nawaz Sharif, whose government was toppled by Musharraf himself. They are not actually coming out loud speaking against it, because as the other guy, the analyst from ARY said, that he has no relevance in the Pakistani politics for now, and that is why he is there. He wants to be part of one of the establishment main, pressure points. And so when I say establishment, I mean the Pakistani armed forces and Pakistani intelligence agencies. This is where he trusts. This is where he thinks that he can be trusted, and he cannot even imagine, as he says, to have an opposition from the Pakistani armed forces. That is why he's there. He wants to highlight people from amongst his party who can actually play part, and at the same time, he can be in line with the major forces in the Pakistani armed forces who can actually take a decision that he can be, at the showcase at the front end of the democratic political process in Pakistan. And that is why, he's there. I don't think he has any relevance in the upcoming elections. I don't think he will be able to attain even a single seat, because the seat from where he's contesting from Karachi, Dr. Fauziya Siddiqui, sister of Dr. Afia Siddiqui, has also filed in the nomination papers from the same seat. And she has said that I will make sure that Musharraf does not win even a single seat from Karachi. And so this is how, strong the contention against Musharraf. He has to be answerable to a lot of questions first, before he even thinks about moving forward ahead, one step forward regarding his political campaign is concerned. And that is how what we've seen. This is his first time ever that he's coming into the court, and this is the greeting and welcome he gets. It's a tries to assure him. This is a mark of anger to people happen in there. So I don't think Musharraf has any relevance or any as far as his standing in the political election is concerned. But yes, he is here to make his arrangements settled up and try to identify the people who can actually trust, and he can take them forward in being in line with the Pakistani forces.
Just stay on with us, Hamda. We also have Mohammed Ilyas, BBC correspondent, joining us from Islamabad. Pervez Musharraf's return was being seen with a lot of anticipation. Pervez Musharraf himself was trying to build up the hype ahead of his return to Pakistan. But going by what has happened just now, a shoe hurled at former Pak president outside the court premises, does it in a way reflect how little warmth, how little affection he actually enjoys of the masses?
Well, yes, and that was pretty much expected. From the very beginning, because there were a lot of questions over why he was coming back to Pakistan at all, and from what we've seen today, it becomes apparent that there isn't much love lost for him in Pakistan at the moment.
All right, and also many would say, Ilyas, that in a way General Musharraf has acted impulsively, true to his style, by returning to Pakistan, considering there are very serious charges that were leveled against him, very significant cases that are still pending, like the treason case that he'll have to face.
Well, that is true. I think, many analysts in Pakistan basically were of view that probably he wanted to vindicate himself. Out here there was an impression generally being created that he was a runaway, a pagoda, and this is something which the commando that Pervez Musharraf was, he didn't want to live with that kind of an image. So he came back, but he did have some sort of guarantees also. He has been the chief of Pakistani armed forces, which have a very predominant political image in Pakistan, and the past history suggests that none of the main top officers of the Pakistan Army have ever been, dragged in the civilian court. So probably that was one calculation that he had, and the other was that he did, when he was in power, he did a constituency, especially during this a short-lived, economic prosperity that he brought to some urban centers in Pakistan, especially in the services sectors, in consumer economy. So quite a few people in places like Karachi or places like Lahore did look back at Pervez Musharraf's period as a period of prosperity, although it was short-lived. And this probably was also one reason why Pervez Musharraf was. He thought that there would be some level of a welcoming crowd at least will be there in Pakistan, and if you remember his last year, he addressed gathering, a political gathering in Karachi from Dubai over a video link, and it was quite a respectable crowd that he was able to pull to that crowd. So although it wasn't, it was nothing as compared to the crowds that some of the other leaders have been drawing in Pakistan. But there were some reasons for him to be able to come back.
All right. Well, remember, Musharraf will be spending a lot of time in courts. I guess more than that he's going to get to spend on his campaigning if he fights elections, if he's allowed to fight elections. Let's in fact quickly recap for you what's really happened right now in a Sindh court in Pakistan, where Pervez Musharraf had gone for a court hearing. For that, it's over to my colleague Aditya Ravi Shankar.
Thanks very much, Ruchika. Certainly a man who has been considered to be politically insignificant for the politics of Pakistan in this day and age, but certainly continues to evoke strong emotions given these visuals, these dramatic scenes to have played out at a Sindh court earlier in the day. You can see Musharraf here, right here somewhere in the crowd, coming out from that hearing, having just been granted bail. In fact, extension of bail coming forth for him from the Sindh High Court. And people here towards this group there, you can see a shoe being hurled towards him. Of course, missed in this attempt. Was roughed up by Musharraf's supporters as well. But you can see, from these scenes that there was a lot of, presence as far as media persons are concerned, as far as his own supporters are concerned too. I mean, not the kind of reception since the time he's landed in Pakistan that you would have liked as far as the sheer numbers are concerned. But in anywhere he goes, I mean, he's always flanked by hundreds of his supporters, perhaps more as well. Similar scenes playing out in the Sindh court today as well, where you can see the shoe being hurled at him. Didn't hit him, but certainly it's a huge cause for concern for the army as well. This is a man, remember, who the army has to protect at all costs. A huge issue of prestige for them as well. A former military head who went on to preside over the country. For this, something like this to happen, a very embarrassing situation may well work as a bit of a preemptive sort of warning too, that, for Musharraf to be anywhere in Pakistan, his security has to be top-notch if he has to be protected, given the kind of threats, death threats that he has been receiving as well, Ruchika.